This card, put the box down. This card uses this fashion frame. It's by Yvonne Creations. It's from their range called Sweet Girls. It's all about sort of girly things, hair, makeup, clothes, you know, that kind of thing. So we're going to use the frame as a, well, basically to frame this lovely little dress that I'm going to show you how to make. I have done a video this morning using the frame in a different way. So if you want another idea on how to use this particular die, then that will be going up sometime next week. So let's have a look at what we've got. So I am using, as my base, I am using some Centura Pearl. This is from the Precious Metals selection. It's kind of a nice bronzy colour. So I've made my base card from it. I've got a piece here to cut my frame. And I have a piece of white card, which I'm going to ink to match the dress. I have a piece of paper, which I'll explain the paper in a minute, because it is quite flimsy. But I'm going to use that. Oh, I was going to say, phew, I did cut it to the right size. And then I have this piece of paper, which I'm going to make the dress from. And I have a little bow to stick around her dress. So let's start by cutting the frame. I'm going to cut this out of our Centura Pearl. So I'm going to grab some pieces of tape. I'm going to put a couple on the inside and another one on the outside. And we are going to put that through our machine. This is a more intricate die. It needs a bit more pressure. So we're going to use the magnetic shimmer with that one. And off it goes through. So as soon as I saw this die, I thought about making this kind of dress. Now I've made them before, in a much more simple way. So I've used in the past, you cut a scallop circle, you cut a section out which becomes like the top or the bodice of the dress, and the other bit folds down, excuse me, to make a skirt. But I wanted something a little bit different for this, something a little bit more involved. And so I kind of did a little bit of a trawl on the internet, as you do, looking for some inspiration and ideas. And I found this little site called Red Ted Art, who had this amazing little sort of video showing how to make this gorgeous little dress. And I thought, yeah, that's the one I like. So I'm just looking for my little brush. That's the one I want to use. So once we've got this cut out, I'm gonna assemble all these bits, and then we can focus on the dress, because it adds this lovely little girly sort of theme that's going on around on the frame. There we go. Get this out. Ooh. There we go. And that will be put in my box to clean later. You can see it's cut beautifully, and even in that one pass, we've got some nice embossing detail. You can see here where it's been embossed to show the screen on the phone, and you've got here the detail on the hair straighteners and sort of around here on the mirror. So it's a very lovely frame die. So let's assemble this part. I need a bit of ink because I didn't have a piece of card to match this. So I went into my oxides and found dried marigold, which is a pretty good match. The thing with when you've got a good selection of a good quality ink, it opens up a whole host of things. I don't need necessarily to have, you know, card in every single colour. Excuse me. My lunch repeating. I can create card to match what I want to do, and particularly if you make inky backgrounds, then you can then make sure you've got a toning or a matching piece of card that will go really perfectly well with your project. So I'm just going to clean this up. Bear with me. Let me spray. And it won't be wasted. Okay. Right. So let's assemble this, and then we'll have a look at the dress. I want to make sure I've got, excuse me, all my bits around the right way before I stick. That'll do. Right, so glue on the back of this one. Really, I should heat set that ink because I'm going to get it on my fingers, but hey ho, we will cope. The other projects I'm doing today are all sort of yellowy and orange as well, so my fingers are that on. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Oh look, it goes that way. There, and I'm going to get a card, press that down, partly because the ink is wet. You can see the ink there, and I won't be getting it all over my fingers. That. So this is actually a piece of copy paper that I've printed a digi paper onto, and I'll explain why when we come to look at the dress, because I was playing around with what I was going to do. I was printing out a few things. I'm sure quite a lot of you will have a library on your computer of digi papers, and to be quite honest with you, they will be perfect for this project because you need a very thin paper to make this dress. Copy paper is perfect, but obviously you want a pretty copy paper. Now you can ink stamp onto copy of paper, but you have to be a little bit careful because it is quite thin. So you need to just take a little bit of care if you're going to do that. But I thought, no, we'll have a look in the stash of digipapers I've got on my computer that will work well with this beautiful theme, this girly theme. And I've also seen I've got a few little bits left in die here, so I'm just going to poke those through. Okay, right, so there is our gorgeous frame already. So that can go to one side and dry while I'm showing you how to make the dress. So, as I said, you need quite a thin paper. And I felt in my stash, all the gorgeous papers were too heavy, too thick, because you need something that's going to be able to fold multiple times. Now, on, like I said, I think it was red, I've got it written down, red Ted Art. The dimensions they give you a dress this size, which was way too big for what we wanted. So I just reduced the size. So for this dress, you need a 10 centimetre square of paper. Okay. Now, like I said, I printed out a variety of things before I decided to go with this one. I don't think you want too busy a pattern, but dots, I think dots always look pretty on a dress. So we're going to go with that one. I do in here, I have each step. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make it with this piece, but as I go, I'm going to put, if I can get them all in shot, and Dean will let me know if they're not, I will put each stage on my, he's looking at me going, oh my God, what are you doing to me? Right, so you need a 10 centimetre square of paper. Okay, and the first thing you do is you fold it in half. Believe me, the first time you do it, it's a little bit, ooh. The second time you do it, and the third time, it's just really, really straightforward. So that's the first thing you do. You fold it in half and you fold it in half again. So you've got like this kind of cross effect. There's the first bit. Okay. Now, for this next bit, you can see what I've done is I've folded the piece of paper into that middle crease. Okay. I'll put that one there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this side and fold it into that middle crease, and the same here. Okay, so that's our second step. Okay, now the next step is, I'm looking at this and going, what did I do there? The next step, I know what I did, is to then bring, the way you folded it is to bring that into the middle there. Okay, so this is where we folded it over just now. We're going to come up and bring that into the middle there. So that's what we've got here. So next stage, we're going to fold that in half on that original line. We've already got a fold line there. So there we are, in half. Okay. Next stage. In half there, we need to fold that back up, and that creates our little bodice waistline. So here, and I'm going to fold it up roughly a centimetre. Now, hopefully you can see the amount of folds here. If I had a thicker paper, this just wouldn't be happening. You need a nice thin paper. All right, that's the next step. Our next step looks like that. So we're going to flip it over, and you're going to grab hold of this, put your finger on the top and pull it out. Increase. That's all you need to do. And that creates the bottom of our dress. Same the other side. Grab that bottom corner, hold it at the top, pull it out and crease. Okay, that's where we're at. Have you got it all in? Excellent. Right. So now we turn it over, and we need to fold these corners in. So because this is smaller than the original one, it is a little bit more fiddly than the size that they made it, but it is still absolutely doable. So I'm folding that one in like at 90 degrees, and then I'm folding this one in the same. Okay, that's where we're at now. Okay, so we've got to get from here to here. Now this is possibly one of the trickiest steps, but I found a kind of a way that it works. So you need to bring those two flaps out, and I use a pokey tool to get in there, in between those two layers. And then you need to kind of push. You've got a fold line here and a fold line here from where you creased over. And you've kind of got to push into that crease line and then push it down. Okay. That one you might want to have a practice with a few times. I've not done it great on there, but you basically, if I do it on this one, you started here, you pull it out, bring that bit down, and fold it down there. Okay, that's where we're at now. Make sure I've got these in the right order. So our next job is we fold these down. So this one here folds down to here. This is creating the neckline, and this one folds down to here. Okay, we've got that. Let's have a look. There we go. So now you can see what we've done is we've folded these bits in. So this bit is coming in here, and it brings the dress with it, but you don't want to bring it all the way over. So you push that down there and then fold there. So same with the other side. As you fold this in, it brings the dress in, but you don't want to bring it all the way in. Push it down here and fold to the corner. Okay. So you have a look at the front. That's where we're at. We're almost there. We've got one last step, and that's to fold these bits over to create the sleeves. This one there and there. So that when we turn it over, we have our dress. So those are the stages. So if you are watching this on record, then you can sort of still put that pause it, and you can screenshot that, and you can see those are all the stages that you go through to get to this. I will at some point put this on my blog as well, so that and do like a photograph step by step. But there we go. That's our dress. I'm going to put these away. I can guarantee you that once you've done it once, and do it with scrap paper, just do it with a plain piece of copy paper. Once you've played with it once, or even do it on a bigger size so you get the idea, you'll find that it just becomes second nature. So there's our dress. It's going to go here. Now I did add a little bit of ink to the bottom. I'm not going to do it with this one. So I'm going to get my 3D glue gel, because we've got so much paper sort of going on here. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to put a little bit of glue under here first. A bit of glue there to glue that bit down, and a bit of glue here, glue that bit down. We'll just keep it a little bit more together, and then I'm going to put some 3D glue gel on there. Give it a little bit of shape. Ooh, very close. And there we go in the middle. A little bit higher. And then I have a little tiny little bow to go in the centre of the dress. Just like that. And that fashion frame from Yvonne Creations just provides the perfect backdrop for a little topper like that. You may have some dress dies in your stash that you could use with this, but if you don't, nice little bit of paper folding, do a little bit of skill there will create that one. I do like a bit of paper folding. Excellent. So that was project number 2.